So I don't know about you, but we found aspects of this lockdown hard. I mean, it's now 101 days that we've been in some kind of official lockdown in the UK, and me and my family had the virus at the start of March, so we can add another couple of weeks to that. And it's taken its toll. I mean, there's not just the stress of weddings cancelling and the financial impact, but we found, especially after the virus, it's taken us a long time to get back up to feeling normal. We're still feeling quite tired, and we're not sure whether that is post-viral fatigue and we're still fatigued from being ill, or whether it's just the whole situation and it's all a bit weird. I mean, lockdown started to ease a little in the UK. We can now have one other household in our house as long as we maintain social distancing. We can meet people outside, but it's still not back to normal. It's that lacking that social aspect has been quite draining. Thankfully, financially and work-wise, we've got our fingers in a couple of pies, so we're all right, as well as the photography. I've got my web design business, which has been ticking over nicely. So although we're down money-wise, we're not overly stressed about it, but still we're finding it difficult to kind of get out and do things that we'd normally enjoy doing without any without any effort whatsoever. So part of picking up the camera and learning videography has been really good, in that it's given my brain something to work for and a little bit of motivation, and combining that with us making more of a concerted effort to get out of the house and do things, do some walking. We are supposed to be travelling this year, but I can't see that happening now. Certainly not to the extent we were going to. We're due to spend 3 weeks in Thailand in August. Currently, it looks like we'd have to just spend 2 weeks of that in isolation. So we're looking at alternatives. So whether that's trips around the UK or slightly further afield, go on the train to France, drive around some of Europe, but obviously it's going to depend on the lockdown rules around the country. So we've been trying to make more of an effort just to get out locally. Usually we'd be walking like nearly every weekend, but certainly this whole situation's impacted our diet and how much exercise we're doing quite a lot. So we need to try and get back to some sort of normality, and having something new to learn. So the learning to fly the drone, learning to edit video, that's it's been working. It's given me something to concentrate on, which has been good. I know my wife's had it hard as well. Only I can work because my wife's got a beauty business, so she's having to be doing all of this homeschooling while I'm working on websites. And it's not an ideal situation for any of us. My daughter's finding it hard because she can't see her friends. Kids can't. I mean, she's 9, and it's a struggle. How can kids play without going within 2 meters of each other? So we've been trying to at least get out locally, do some walking. So we took the camera and headed out to Cromer, which has got a beautiful beach. I did some walking there. Took the camera along to play with some new kit. So what I picked up was one of these Gobi variable neutral density filters, so that I can maintain the correct shutter speed. Now, how these work is there are 2 sheets of polarized glass. As they rotate against each other, they block a differing amount of light. Now, this is just quite a cheap one. I'm not going to spend the money on the Polar Pro Peter McKinnon one or anything like that when I'm not earning money from video yet. But this seems to work pretty well. It's got a little bit of a color cast if you push it beyond, say, 3 stops of light, but half the time I'm not going to use that. It's just to kind of take the edge off when I'm shooting at 1/50th or 1/200th of a second, depending on what frame rate I'm shooting. And it held up pretty well. To save some money, because obviously I'm going to be shooting with multiple lenses. Lenses have all got different size filter threads. This is the 77mm because that's my biggest lens. So that is my 85 1.4 that will fit. I've then bought this set of step-up rings. Now these are really cheap, and all they are rings that change the size of the filter thread. They're called step up because they step your lens up to the filter. Step down would reduce the size, so you need to make sure you get the right one if you do want to go for these. And for example, there's a 72 to 77 ring is what I need. They can get quite tight. So I need 72 to 77. So this outer one here, that attaches it to my 35mm, and if I then attach the 67 to 72, that'll then attach to my 25 Batis that I'm now filming on. And if I attach all of them all the way down to 49mm, then you'll see that will now fit my little 1.55mm 1.8. So you can see, screw that on there. It obviously makes the lens a little bit bigger, but then it means that I don't have to buy multiple. If I could actually get the screw thread, there we go. So then I don't have to buy multiple variable ND filters. I could just buy the one, these step up rings, and there we go. Now what I found filming is getting to grips with the editing. I'm getting to grips with different transitions. What I do need to do, and which I'm not even trying at the moment, is to plan everything out beforehand so that I can tell a proper story. For now, what I'm concentrating on is getting used to using the camera, the kind of different feel between, you know, capturing motion and versus stills, you know, tracking subjects and things like that. So I'm not worrying too much about storytelling at the moment, but I am planning on kind of planning something out for when we do go traveling this August, whatever our plans may be, and putting together kind of a travel documentary of what we're doing for that. So stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe button, and I've got some great Lightroom tips that are going to be getting uploaded in the next week as well as the getting started with the Mavic Air 2. If you wonder why I'm looking over, there's the parrot squawking at me, which I'm not sure the mic can pick up or not. Hopefully not. But yeah, so yeah, here's the little movie I put together for our trip to Cromer Beach. Hope you enjoy it. Hit the subscribe button and speak to you all soon.